I'm $100,000 in debt. I want to retire in 8 years and I have no retirement savings. And we are going to start fixing that this year. We're starting by getting our expenses under control and learning how to budget. I used to budget back in the day, but I was a broke single mom and living off my credit cards, which we are trying to pay off. We're starting by getting our expenses under control, and a part of that is doing a weekly audit on my bank account. I think this is the 3rd week in a row that we've been doing the audits, and honestly, the audits are really helping me because during the week when I'm thinking about spending money on certain things, I'm like, no, you're gonna have to tell your people about that in your weekly audit. Do you really want to do that? And I'm like, okay, you know what? That's kind of embarrassing. I don't want to do that. So you guys are helping me not to spend money. Like, come on. Anyway, I got my laptop here and we're going to go over our weekly expenses. I'm going to go from last weekend to this weekend to today. Let's get into it. If I'm not looking at y'all, I'm looking at my computer, okay? Don't get jealous. I spent $5.38 at the dog store getting my little doggy a little treat last weekend. I think it was last Friday. I spent $14.49 at Lowe's. I was getting those Zevo refill plugins. I had a plant in here. I just threw it out this morning. But I had a plant in here and it got infested with fungus gnats, and I tried my hardest to get rid of them. But I think by the time I realized it was infested with fungus gnats and that I needed to treat the plant and get it healthier, I think it was already too far gone because I'd seen gnats and I was like, oh, maybe that's just Florida in the summer. Like, what do I know? I opened the door to let the dog in and out, I just thought that was a problem and that maybe I need to clean my drains in my kitchen because, garbage disposal. Cleaned them so many times, that never worked. And then I realized the fungus gnat. The gnats are coming from the plant. And when I Googled, it told me they were fungus gnats. Anyway, I tried so many weeks. I ended up just throwing the plant out. I do want to get a new plant. So that's something that we'll budget for this coming weekend when we get paid again. But I've given myself a week with the Zevo plugins, and hopefully all the gnats will be out of here by the end of the week so they can't fester in the soil again. Lessons learned. I spent $20.16 at Publix to get groceries for last week. This is last week's expenses still. $100 onto my City Simplicity credit card, which we have to talk about that for a second because I signed up for Experian a month or two ago so that way I could go through check my credit and dispute anything and just be better. I wanted to start being more mindful. I was already kind of in the mindset of wanting to do this budgeting thing, and I thought I need to know everything about myself, about my finances and what I'm spending and my history. So I signed up for Experian and I could check my credit score over there. Obviously we have 3 credit scores between the 3 reporting agencies, but I don't think you can sign up for a free account on the other ones. I don't really know. I didn't really check into that too much, but I noticed that it was Credit Karma, then there's Experian, and maybe there's a couple more. But I was like, oh, I'll just sign up for Experian. So sign up for a free account over there. I think you can also pay upgrade and pay a monthly subscription and get other things, but I just did the free account. Well, I got a notification the other day and I was like, I forgot about it until yesterday. I went and checked it and my credit score went up 26 points. I started at 750 probably a month or two ago, and now it is at 776, which is so good. It's not like my credit score at 750 was bad, but 776 is really good, which is so weird because I did a balance transfer I had about $6,500 on my Discover credit card, and that had an interest rate of 23.24%. I made a whole video about this, but I'll give y'all a brief overview. And then I was like, I need to pay this off, and I can never get ahead because the interest rate is just so freaking astronomical, which, you know, most credit cards are. And so I was like, I need to transfer this over. I'm scared to do this. I never did a balance transfer. How does this work? Am I going to like this? Is it going to be worth it? All the things. Because I kept thinking in my head, most credit cards give you like a 0% interest rate period for balance transfer kind of stuff. Like for 6 months, I was like, in 6 months, I'm not going to be able to pay off $6,500. Not on with my paychecks. Unless I literally wanted to scrimp by, and I've done that before where I've, you know, scrimped by on minimal funds in between pay periods, and I end up using my credit card because I put too much money on my credit card. And so it just doesn't make any sense. So I was like, oh, but then I did my research and I ended up finding City Simplicity credit card. It had a 0% interest rate for 21 months. And a 30% balance transfer. So I did the dang thing and transferred my balance over. And I thought like my credit score would go down because they have to do a hard inquiry to approve me for the City Simplicity card. Well, I never noticed my credit score go down. It had been 750 before I applied, after I applied. And I kept thinking, oh, I don't think my credit score will change with the balance transfer because I'm transferring the same amount. I've only made one payment of the $100 that I'm telling you about. So I didn't think it would change and my score would be the same. Well, that's weird because I checked it yesterday and it went up 26 points. And when I Googled like why that was, the only thing that I could find out from the list of reasons that it gave me is that my utilization on my Discover card went down to 0. So that really boosted my credit score. But I moved it over to a new account. They had to do a hard inquiry. I have a new card with 0 history on it. So I'm so lost. If you guys have a better explanation of what could have happened, let me know in the comments because I'm lost. Can it really just be the utilization on my Discover card went to 0 and that's what caused my score to go up 26 points? Seems like it would only go up a couple of points, like 6 points. How did it go up 26? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to complain because I'm happy about that. Credit scores mean a lot here in America, and unfortunately, that's just the cold, hard, honest truth. You're just a number when it comes down to it. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to buy a house. I don't have money for that or anything, but it's good to know that I have good credit because if my kids were ever in a situation where they actually needed me to co-sign for something, I really honestly wouldn't mind helping my kids out. So I'm happy that at least I can be in that kind of situation if need be. Next expense, because we're getting off on a tangent. I gave Apple $1.99 and I'm quite certain it's for some storage that I have like on the cloud or something, however that works. $37.16 for gas for the week. I got that on like, I don't know, Tuesday of the week or something, and Sunday now. So I'll have to get gas again one more time for the week. I spent $26.74 at Target, and that's buying all the nail polish. I spent $10.68 at Michael's buying yarn because I'm trying to get into my crochet era. I'm trying so hard. I watched a YouTube tutorial. I watched 5. I tried to find one that would suit me best, and I cried at the end because I never got good enough. I couldn't figure it out. So we're gonna keep trying and get better at that. $13.91 at a local restaurant buying a burger. I used to have a burger, like burger and fries, every week. I cut back on that, but I was absolutely craving that after eating so healthy and meal prepped food for the week. I was sick of it and I needed a burger and fries. So did that on Friday. And then yesterday I got some groceries. So I spent $57.25 at Sprouts. I got pretty much everything. I need to get a case of water, and I usually just get that at Publix because it's just cheaper there. So I need to go and get that at some point today. But other than that, I am stocked on food for the week. I've got everything that I need. I spent $36.35 at Michael's again. I know. I wanted to make a air dry clay project. It's just something cute for my kitchen. Like not just like a decor kind of piece. If it turns out well, I'll show you guys next week. It's still drying. I spent $14.18 getting an acai bowl. I hope that's how you say them. Yesterday when I went down to St. Pete. It was just so wonderful. I got that and I sat and watched the water, and that's one of my happy spots on the weekends to do something like that. And I love the acai bowls. I spent $3.35 on parking. I took my dog down to the Riverwalk in Tampa, and we went for a little walk in order to park the closest I can park, which is the best because it's so hot outside and I have a dog. I had to spend $3.35 to park for an hour. I spent $32 at the farmer's market getting groceries for the week. I always try to shop local when I can. Like if I'm getting a coffee out, if I'm buying like clothes or jewelry and the little accessory girly stuff, I try to shop local when I can. It doesn't always happen, but when I can, I try to make it happen. So I usually go to the farmer's market every week and get like fruits and veggies as much as I can. And then I'll go to the grocery store for like meat, eggs, dairy, you know, those types of things, breads, because I can't always find that stuff at the farmer's market, or it's astronomical because they're probably sourcing locally and best. But I looked at eggs at the farmer's market from this one vendor, and they were like $8 or $9 for a dozen. I almost said a 12 pack, I don't know. And then if I go to the grocery store, I can get free range or whatever they call them eggs for like $4 or $5. So unfortunately, I'm not that rich and can't spend $9 on eggs every week. So I usually will go to the farmer's market and then go to the grocery store. So that explains the Sprouts and the farmer's market. And then last but not least, I spent 35 cents parking at the farmer's market. Let's see how much I spent for the week. I've got it all tallied up on my laptop over here. I spent a total of $373.89. And honestly, that's so good because the last week that I did this, I spent like $500, which was wild. $100 of that went to my credit card. So it's like, did I really spend that much money? It's still quite a bit to spend for the week, I feel like. But next week, I won't be going to Michael's and getting craft supplies, and actually, I probably will because I have the paint to paint my little project. But I'm going to want to seal it up so it doesn't get like food on it and stuff like that. So we're going to have to work on that. So I might need one more thing for Michael's. And that leaves me with $20.38 to spend for the week until I get paid. I think we can manage. We will, like I said, need a case of water and a little bit of gas to make it through, but I think we'll be okay. Thanks for hanging with me this week and going through all my expenses. This is really helping me, and you guys are holding me accountable. Without these videos, I would just be spending and wouldn't even care. So I love you guys, and thanks for hanging with me this week. I will see you next week.